Now, this particular tree is very reminiscent, very reflective of that broom-style tree down there. So it's reflective of what a tree would grow like if it was left to its own devices. And what I mean by that is just let it grow and let's see how she develops. So not a lot of effort has gone into shaping this tree over a period of time. And the reason I can tell that is it's got two heads. And what I mean by two heads is it's got two competing areas at the top here for the top of the tree. And this is typically what happens with Australian gum trees. And a lot of Australian native trees have very strong demand up here, which is the top of the tree, the apical part of the tree, and it's very typical uniqueness about Australian native trees. Particularly gum trees is they grow almost like that, and it's characteristic of a gum tree. Very different consideration to what these types of trees are. Now, you've got to get ramification on this tree now, so you've got to increase the actual physical volume of leaf and foliage on here. Now, the biggest problem with these plants is when they're full of foliage, it's very hard to actually see the ramification because they become so heavy with leaves you can't actually see what's underneath. And in some cases, I believe Japanese maples look better in autumn and winter than they do in spring and summer when they're full of leaf growth. Because you can't appreciate the beautiful ramification that's under this tree when it's in leaf. Very quickly, this branch structure here gets overcome by the sheer volume of each leaf sitting across the top of each other, and you can't see anything. So, periodically, these have to be thinned out during their growth cycle, all the time. Japanese maple trees typically grow like this. They grow different to elm trees. They have a set of shooted leaves like this, then the centre one shoots out and comes up, and they set out another set like these. So they're opposite each other, and they just keep shooting out. Left to its own devices, it couldn't probably go out that long in one season, all over the whole tree. So typically, this is what they'll do, and they just keep growing and growing and growing.